See Northcote Parkinson, who was greatest British historian and author, who has created a law around 1955, which had so many people, and yet so many people are still not aware of it. By the way, it's just a psychological principle to improve your productivity and not legal law or something. We will discuss that law later in this video. But first of all, why are we talking about this? Well, I was researching something about work-life balance, and I found out that India's results are pretty poor in that area. Now, being from an amazing product-based company, I have realized the value or the benefits of work-life balance, how they have benefited me in n number of ways. And I tried to research why people are not able to manage good work-life balance. And this video is all about the same. This video is all about helping you understand what is work-life balance at the first part, and second thing is how you can achieve it. In this video, I will provide some broad, rich, and deep, psychological laws or guidelines which you can apply to get your work-life balance a little better than today, right? And I guarantee you, definitely immediately after watching this video, you'll be definitely at the better place where you are right now in terms of work-life balance. But before diving into what is work-life balance, how we can achieve it, what's the importance, first, we will look what will happen if you don't maintain your work-life balance. पहली बात तो आ जाएगा stress. Now, what is stress? So, fundamental understanding of stress in most of the Indians or most of the people is very wrong. They associated the stress with some kind of burnout. अगर एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल लो, एथलीट, कोई भी एथलीट है, वो जब 100 मीटर्स या 200 मीटर्स स्प्रिंट करता है, आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग द स्प्रिंट ही इज वेरी टायर्ड, सो इट्स बेसिकली अ बर्नआउट, राइट? It is not at all related to what is stress is, right? Overwork karna, over-deliver karna, it's not, because of your overworking or your over-delivering. It is not the fundamental reason of stress. It is just, you may be, burnout, you might get exhausted, but it is not stress. So the fundamental of stress is whatever you have planned, right? Whatever you have planned and you cannot complete it within time. That basically produces the stress. For example, अगर same athlete का example ले ले, to run that 100 meters or just 200 meters sprint or marathon, right? An athlete have to practice like 1 साल पहले या 1 महीने 3 महीने पहले से उसको तैयारी करनी पड़ती है, right? He had to make a daily task, daily schedule, and for simplicity, let's take example as simple as वार्म अप करना या फिर जॉगिंग करना या फिर कार्डियो एक्सरसाइजेस करना, क्रॉसफिट एक्सरसाइज करना, राइट? सो डेली एन एथलीट हैव टू परफॉर्म ऑल दोस टास्क, राइट? बट इफ ही डज नॉट परफॉर्म ईच एंड एवरी टास्क, राइट, ऑन डे टू डे बेसिस और ऑन वीक ओवर वीक बेसिस और मंथ ओवर मंथ बेसिस, व्हेन ही विल अपीयर टू दैट मैराथन और टू द स्प्रिंट, ठीक है, तब उसका जो माइंडसेट होता है, तब we can say it is under stress. Why? Because he has planned something, but he couldn't execute, and that produced the stress for that athlete, right? हमारे daily life में भी कोई भी domain रहने दो, it could be IT, it could be mechanical, any kind of work, right? Any kind of job. अगर if you are not able to finish whatever you are planned, right, that will produces the stress. Now, second major point is poor work-life balance reduces productivity as well. In simple terms, productivity is the ratio of input versus the generated output. The great example is seesaw. When you put put some weight into one side of seesaw, and the other will get moved, right? So let's say one side is you're giving input, other side is you're generating the output. But how can you make the process more efficient so that you give less input but output will be more? So that is the productivity. And making this transition or taking this effort to make ourselves efficient, that is called as a productivity. It's not just, extending your work hours or extending your work. That's not the productivity. That will just introduce the burnout. Now, अगर इतनी important चीजें impact हो रही है due to this poor work-life balance, then how to achieve it? That's the next obvious question, right? And the straightforward answer is there is no one size fit all solution. Everybody's circumstances is different, job style is different, the way they are handling the conflicts or the responses is different, right? So there can be a different solution and different uh, perspectives through which they can, manage their own problem. But if we generalize on broader level, right, it could be the framework could be put in 4 steps. First is set the boundaries. Simple thing, learn to say no. Easier said to be done, right? So most of the people, including me, would hesitate to say no to any kind of situation easily. They hesitate to reschedule a call or even suggest a comfortable timing. But trust me, if you have good peers, good team leads, good manager, everybody will understand your boundaries and your suggestions. Try to set clear boundaries between your work and life. Sometimes it is totally okay to decline, post work or calls, or when you are on holiday, it is completely okay to say or decline a call or suggest a new timing, right? But now people think, what if we are on, vacation and there's something, urgency or emergency that my team member needs my help. What should we do in that case? We have to pitch in there, right? And that is mainly because of poor planning, which brings to my second point, planning and prioritization. Now, there are so many books like, 4 hours work week or Eat the Frog. All these books talks about, how to plan and get your work done, right? You can get help, you can read those books, you can get help from it. But if you want to go on that deep level, right? There is one law called as Parkinson's law, which I mentioned in the start. And that law states that tasks more often take up more time than necessary. And the more time people have to complete a task, the more it tends to expand and become needlessly complicated. Interesting, right? So when Parkinson's law isn't, it's not a psychological or scientific principle in traditional sense. It has become popular concept in time management and productivity discussions. The main thing I noticed in myself when I was working or I was not that productive, right? I used to lot of, do context switching. And context switching reduces a lot of your productivity and it drains a lot of energy. So because I'm from IT, I'll take just IT example, right? When we do 2 tasks parallelly, because one task, let's say, compilation takes, 5 to 10 minutes and second task, execution takes 5 to 10 minutes, right? So instead of waiting, what we do, basically, we will just try to do 2 tasks parallelly. And because we are doing 2 tasks parallelly, our subconscious expectation is we have to complete it, both the tasks should be completed within same amount of time. But this does not happen. Some bugs or some errors happens in one of the program. And even if one task completed successfully and one is still pending or still, needs some debugging or fixing or some kind of that, our mind still will think that whatever we have planned, we have not completed it, right? And that's why the stress get introduced. That is the psychological reason behind the stress. So what I would suggest is just break your task into smaller tasks and just take one task at a time. If there is some ad hoc task, then reprioritize the task. You have to decide which task to finish first, take up that task and finish the task, and then move to next one. Never try to do 2 tasks parallelly. What is delegation? And I think we should normalize delegation. It's not something evil thing to do or to ask for help. It is not sign of weakness to ask your team members for help. You can definitely if there's something some task which your peer knows how to do it more accurately than you, then you should definitely reach out to him, just ask for help, and we should normalize it. It not just saves your time, but because your peer or your team member know how to do it with high quality, it saves your time. Plus the task got done. Plus the task gets done with high quality. And last part is take a chill, take a periodic break. And this basically it seems very normal, but sometimes under the burden of work, we just forget to chill, right? We forget to take periodic breaks. We are in our mindset that first we should finish all the tasks, then only we take the rest and all, and it just decreases your productivity, your thinking speed, or intellectual speed becomes slow, is what I think. That's why, even if you plan the breaks, right, plan the work time and break time, and religiously follow that timings, then I think it's your productivity will. So avoid thinking to finish your work before time. So including I was previously thinking like let's finish the work fast, and let's keep the buffer more for more to debug more, or to add some additional features. But whenever we plan that, right, it subconsciously we are in hurry, which basically reduces the productivity and adding the burnout. So what I would say is, instead of planning and delivering your subconsciously trying to hurry and fastly complete the task, what you have to do is you have to plan better and stick to the plan. While planning itself, basically you have to keep the buffer for some errors or unexpected scenario, right? And that's how you should plan and prioritize the things properly and take periodic breaks. So I think I've covered all the 4 steps of the framework about how to achieve work-life balance and how to keep your productivity. And all these points are from my perspective. This is what I applied, and I saw the benefits. If I missed any point, definitely you can comment down in the box and tell me what you think about it, what point you would suggest, and what point you apply to keep your productivity intact. And if you like the video, consider it subscribing the channel, liking the video, and sharing with your friends. Thank you.